Hello student, in previous video we see the periodic tables in means whole periodic table. The elements are present along with their periods and groups their position we find with the help of using different mnemonics. In today's lecture we see about the physical and chemical properties of metal and non-metal. So we know that basically in periodic table metal and non-metals are present, and in between that one zigzag line is present in the p block elements, which gives the properties of metalloids. Okay, but we only see the physical and chemical properties of metals and non-metals, and after that we see the properties of metalloids. So before starting our this topic, if you like my video, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. My channel name is Shada Surosri. So today we learn about the physical and chemical properties of metal and non-metals. It is the very basic concept we already know about, but the questions are asked in CTET and TET exam on this topic. So it is very important. So when we distinguish between the metal and metal, they shows the different property. When we see the periodic table, that time we see that the metals are present in the periodic table in S block elements and in D block elements, as well as the non-metals are present in the periodic table, that is in P block elements. They shows the different property. If metals easily donate their last orbit electrons, but non-metals not donate their last orbit electrons. They take electrons in their last orbit electron for fulfilling their octet, and it is also fulfilling their octet they lost their electron metals. So today's lecture we see about the physical properties of metal and non-metals and chemical properties of metal and non-metals. So before firstly we see the physical properties of metal and non-metals. Okay, this is the metal. We distinguish we make a table. Non-metal. Okay, basically metals are found in the nature or occur in the nature in the state of solid state. Okay, they are found in the nature in the form of solid state, but there is also having some exception. Without exception we can't learn the chemistry. In each and every case there are some exceptional cases are there. So metals, it is the solid state, but exception is the mercury, Hg. It is the mercury, it is also metal, but it is found in the nature in its liquid state. Then non-metals are present in the nature basically in the gaseous states and in the solid state. Basically in gaseous state and liquid state. Bromine, it is the non-metal, it is present in liquid state. Gaseous state, that is the nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, these all are the present in the gaseous state. But there is also some are solid. Okay, gaseous state and solid state. Plastic, wood, these all are the non-metals. This is also present in the solid state. But one is liquid, only one liquid, that is the bromine. Br bromine. It is found in the liquid state. It is the non-metal. Then next point, the metals is having the luster. Okay, this is the, they are not having the luster, means they not shows the property like the luster. Means they not possess the luster. Okay, it possesses the luster, it does not possess luster. This is the second point. Then third point is, okay, the next is the third point is the metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. We see in electricity conducting wire having the metals are present. Sometimes they may be copper or they may be aluminium. So aluminium strings are present and copper strings are present. Why copper and aluminium strings are present? Because they are the good conductor of electricity and they are metals. Okay, metal hai, and metals are the good conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, good conductors. It is the good conductors of heat and electricity. This is the bad conductors. Non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Bad conductors of heat and electricity. In our daily kitchen utensils, we are using the different utensils. They all are made up from metals, not for plastic. If you are using the plastic, they melt. Okay, so behind plastic it is also bad conductor of heat and electricity. We are using you are giving coating on the conducting wire. On conducting wire we are using we are giving coating of plastic because it is the bad conductor of heat and electricity. But for conducting the electricity we are using the metals, and this is nothing but the copper and aluminium. This is the all about the then metals is also having one property, that is the ductility and malleability is found, and non-metals not having the ductility of non-metal is not found. This property is also not found in non-metals, and malleability is also not found in from means we are using the we are making the flat surface of metals. Then we are also making the string from the metals. This property is present in the metal. This property is not present in the non-metals. This is also very very important, ductility and malleability. So these also the properties of metals. This is not found in the non-metals. The next point, they are hard. Metals are very hard. It not have very hard. It is not hard. It is soft. Non-metals are soft in nature. Okay, and metals are hard in nature, and due to their hard in nature, their melting point and boiling point of mercury. Mercury it is in liquid state, so mercury having the boiling point, and other metal is in solid state, they having the melting point. So mercury it is the hard in nature, hence the metals having the high melting point and boiling point. Okay, metals having high because it is very hard, high melting point and boiling point. It is the soft. Non-metals कैसे है? Soft. Hence, it having the low melting point and boiling point. Okay. These are the basic physical properties of metals and non-metals. We stop here, and in next period we see the chemical properties of non-metals. Chemical properties of chemical properties of metals and non-metals we see in next lecture. Chemical properties means when it reacts with water, that time what happen? We know that basically when the iron is react with water in presence of oxygen, that time the corrosion of iron is formed. Iron is happen. Why this corrosion? Which type of reaction is happening? These all things we learn one by one in next period. This is called as the chemical properties of metals. Means metals react with other substances like water, like and then acid, then different compounds. When one metal is reacts with other metal, that time which type of reaction is happening? These all terms we will learn in next lecture. But before that, we know about what is exactly metals and why they are the good conductors of electricity and heat, and non-metals why they are not, they are bad conductors of heat and electricity. What is the reason of that? The reason is metals having the free electrons in their last orbit, and hence these free electrons present in the metals, they are using for conducting the heat and electricity, and non-metals no free electrons are present in the non-metals, hence they are bad conductor of heat and electricity. When we take a string of metal, that is the copper and aluminium, in string of copper and aluminium, number of copper atoms are present and number of aluminium atoms are present, and we know basically means aluminium atom having the 3 free electron in each atom. Suppose when we taking the string of aluminium metal, that time it consists of the number of atoms, and each atom consists of 3 electrons, and according to that number of electrons or number of atoms, the number of free electrons are present in the aluminium, and these free electrons are utilized for conducting the heat and electricity in metals, and in non-metals no free electrons are present, hence these non-metals are bad conductor of heat and electricity. This is the reason of that. So today this is the very basic but very important, and due to this property the metal shows the some chemical reaction and non-metal shows the some different chemical reaction. We see this topic in next lecture. Today we stop here. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.